Good evening. You're watching the 7 o'clock English news from the Sultanate Oman Television. First, the headlines. The Ministry of Health reports 905 new COVID-19 cases and 772 recoveries. The World Economic Forum praises the Sultanate's experience in facing the coronavirus pandemic and its economy diversity strategy. And the Ministry of Commerce and Industry issues executive regulations of the Foreign Capital Investment Law. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. The Ministry of Health announced 905 new confirmed cases of COVID-19, which brings the total number registered in the Sultanate to 29,471, including 131 deaths. The Ministry of Health stresses that 772 cases have been recovered, which brings the total recoveries in the Sultanate to 15,552. The Royal Oman Police draws the attention of those residing in the Wilaya of Salalah in the Governorate of Dhofar that the commercial market area is under quarantine starting from yesterday, 20th of June, until the 7th of July 2020. Royal Oman Police calls upon everybody to cooperate in order to achieve the expected goal in the interest of the public.
Back to work is a step of hope for the best to come. Here are the instructions that will protect you from coronavirus. Wear masks while leaving your house by following proper procedures. Keep a physical distance of at least 2 meters away from others. Follow the main hygienic procedures of washing hands and sanitizing from time to time. Avoid using elevators as much as possible, and if you have to use it, ensure less number of people to guarantee physical distance from one another. Gatherings at entrances, waiting rooms, offices, meeting halls and prayer places are forbidden. If you have any symptoms of the disease, immediately contact the bodies concerned specified by the Ministry of Health. By adhering to these instructions, it will assist you in preventing from contracting the COVID-19. Stay safe.
The World Economic Forum in Davos praised the strategy that the Sultanate adopted to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. It also valued the society awareness in adhering to the precautionary measures and the Omani innovations during this pandemic. The forum as well hailed the economic diversification strategy that the Sultanate adopted within the Oman Vision 2040, along with the pioneering role that the non-economy sectors played to achieve the financial sustainability and growth in the Sultanate. The forum also highlighted the logistics sector in the Sultanate through the aviation movement was affected due to the closing of airports due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but the maritime freight continued progressively. Salalah, Sohar and Duqm ports received over 200 ships this year, and the Sultanate's ports were linked to 68 ports worldwide. The forum focused on the technology sector in the Sultanate and its vital role during the pandemic, and it enabled the government to overcome the implications of the COVID-19 pandemic. It as well threw light on efforts of the Omani innovators and researchers during the coronavirus and their innovations, such as establishing e-platforms to curb the spread of the virus. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry issued executive regulations of the Foreign Capital Investment Law and the terms and conditions of investments in the Sultanate. Under the regulations, the foreign investor is entitled to one approval to establish, operate and manage the investment project. The regulation will contribute in creating an attractive investment environment and creating appropriate conditions in the Sultanate by detailing the procedures that are necessary for registering foreign institutions and companies, as well as defining the general conditions, controls and deadlines for issuing approvals, permits or licenses related to the investment projects. The actual investment volume in Samail Industrial City exceeded 85 million Omani Riyals as it witnessed a demand from business owners and investors. More details in the following report.
Despite the economic fluctuations caused by coronavirus pandemic on the local and global economy, Samail Industrial City is witnessing an increasing demand from business owners and investors as the number of investment applications during the first half of this year reached 19 applications, representing industrial, service and commercial projects, 7 of which were localized and the rest are under study and evaluation before getting localized, bringing the total number of the signed contracts in the city to more than 155 contracts, while the total investment volume has exceeded 85 million Oman Riyals, which is expected to reach 125 million Oman Riyals after the completion of the projects. The number of the operating factories in Samail Industrial City reached 54 factories in various sectors, in which more than 300 Omanis are working, and there are 52 other factories under construction, many of which will enter the production stage this year. In addition, 49 projects have been allocated with space. In partnership with the private sector, the Public Establishment for Industrial Estates, Mada'in, is currently implementing the administration and facility building for Samail Industrial City, at which the completion rate has exceeded 50%. For the Sultanate of Oman Television, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi.
Studio Camera News Bulletin. An annual solar eclipse was visible in various wilayas of the Sultanate this morning, which lasted around 3 hours. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate Oman Television. The Public Authority for Water, DIAM, will start the implementation of a number of maintenance works for the main water pipeline in the Governorate of Dakhiliya from tomorrow, Monday. The works will also include changing the water pumps and valves in the main stations at Sib, Fanja and Samail. Meanwhile, some mechanical and electricity-related works will also be conducted. The Board of Directors of Sports Activities Support Fund discussed in its second meeting the financial analysis in the light of the economic development locally and internationally. The meeting reviewed the recommendations of the Fund Investments Committee as well as the financial report of the revenue and expenses from the period of January to the end of May 2020, in addition to approving the report of the following up implementation of the Board of Directors' decisions in its first meeting. His Excellency Sheikh Saeed bin Mohammed Al Marfoud, Minister of Sports Affairs and Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Fund, headed the meeting. The Oman Environmental Services Holding Company, BIA, completed 4 years in serving the waste management sector in the Sultanate. The company established the infrastructure for engineering dumping sites, as well as terminating the burning of waste, in addition to closing more than 300 traditional dumping sites and recycling them with hygienic methods. Royal Decree number 46/2009 grants the beer company the legal status for waste management in the Sultanate, and since the issue of the Royal Decree, the company started the implementation of the international standards for establishing the infrastructure for engineered dumping sites. The training of the 1st Regiment or the 1st batch in the national program of the leadership development to enable the middle and top Omani leaders in the private sector, ITIMAD, was concluded. The participants completed the program through online training, which was presented by the local and international training partners. The training program included presentations of projects provided by the participants through e-learning system that is evaluated by the international partners. The Sultanate experienced an annual solar eclipse today. It started at 8:14 a.m., peaking at 9:38 a.m. and ended at 11:20 a.m. Muscat time. Due to the unique geographical location of the Sultanate, most of the wilayas witnessed the annual solar eclipse with varied visibility levels reaching 98%. This is one of the unique phenomenon which occurs every 83 years. And at sunrise today, lenses of photography lovers were the historical date to document the phenomena of an annual solar eclipse in the Sultanate skies with unique photographs. Here are some scenes recorded by various sites at the Sultanate's wilayas. Watching the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Ministry of Health reports 905 new COVID-19 cases and 772 recoveries. The World Economic Forum praises the Sultanate's experience in facing the coronavirus pandemic and its economic diversity strategy. And the Ministry of Commerce and Industry issues executive regulations of the Foreign Capital Investment Law. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom in the studios, thanks for watching. Good night.